All right, today is the 26th of March, and it's the first free day I've had to try to get a lot of work done. Time for me to change the blade on this chainsaw. Hi. Oh, look at that. I just started this and I'm bleeding already. All right. We are in the last week of March, and that's pretty exciting. Closer to spring. You know, we've had quite a week. It's been a couple of weeks since I was just girdling those trees by the driveway that I demonstrated. And I even went on to girdle a whole bunch more over there and apply some of the triclopyr. I've been wanting to show you this. Here's what it is. It's Pathfinder. Pathfinder. Basil bark herbicide. And it's got, triclopyr. 13.6%. I keep talking about this stuff. And what I do is I put in some red dye, and so that way when I mark the things I've cut, it's nice and red looking. It almost looks like cut limbs, like human limbs. But it's a little satisfying, I have to admit. It just looks like, yeah, that buckthorn tree is dead. So anyways, I've been busy doing that. But in the past week here, we've had good old Minnesota extreme weather differences. We had a snowstorm which left about 12 to 18 inches of snow, at least in these parts. I almost broke my newly inherited snowblower, but anyway, that was a mess. And then a week later, it was 70 degrees. Crazy. But anyways, it's time to change the blade on this great electric chainsaw of mine. Man, this was like $300, and this is like one of those purchases. It's in the top 5 things, at least, maybe 3. The top 3 tools that I've gotten that have just been yielded the most. I don't know. It's yielded the most. Whatever the hell that means, but it's been very, very good. You know, I think you're supposed to really have these, sharpened or sharpen it yourself. You can take a file and literally each little tooth of the blade here, you sharpen with a file. I've done it, and it does help, but when it comes down to it, $25 for a brand new factory sharpened chainsaw blade is awesome. All right, so what have I done? The girdling, I've showed that. I've showed you the Pathfinder triclopyr herbicide that I'm using to apply to the stumps and the exposed, the cut bark around, the base of the tree. But I think it was on that warm day, there was still a little bit of snow left. I walked around the thick area where there's still plenty of buckthorn, and I continue to be just sort of in awe of just how much there is to deal with of all sizes. And so I have to really consider how I'm going to do all that, and I feel like, I've got about another month. Well, maybe I've got 2 months, I don't know. The month of April, for sure, I want to make sure I get as much cut before things start to leaf out. Because I just think once things really explode and leaf out, it's going to be harder to, I can cut it, but I'll have even more of a mess than just bare branches. So the sharp part of the blade has to be pointing towards that way. The front, I think it goes this way. Yeah, it spins that way. You can tell right away if you put the chain on wrong because it just doesn't really cut. You know, there's like 3 different sizes. There's the big ones. Well, there's really big ones, but there's the 1 to 3 inch in diameters. There's the about 4 feet to 5 feet tall saplings, and then there's the little saplings. And so I think of it, at least I categorize it in those 3 sizes. But it's so thick, especially those middle to small size ones. It's like, how do you go back there and, you know, I can use like a hedge trimmer and cut a bunch and then try to treat it. What I don't want to do is take this, I don't want to take that and just spray it over groups of small saplings, because then I'll kill everything else in the process. I mean, this stuff is used for like ditches and the sides of railroad tracks to kill everything, you know, so. I have started the shopping for like what other trees I can start planting. Trees and shrubs and grasses. That's gonna be a whole nother thing that's gonna be so fun, year by year, planting more and more to replace, you know, the buckthorn areas, so. Right, locked and loaded. Well, it turned out to not be too windy of a day, at least back here in the backyard, so I decided to get a fire going so I can burn a lot of this brush. And a couple of times the wind picked up and it got a little nerve-wracking, but I made sure to rake all around it so there weren't leaves too close by to catch on fire. So anyway, all is well for the moment. Yeah, so less cutting today and more burning, but I love it. I love burning. Plus I'm pulling up some of the sapling buckthorn by hand, roots and all. That's quite satisfying. Juniper's over there by the septic tanks checking out the landscaping bricks. I think Critters get under there and she loves to go hunting for them, so we're having fun. I did forget to mention that I repurposed some of those landscaping bricks into a fire pit. I mean, I thought, well, you know, why not? It's not ugly. It's not the prettiest fire pit, but it's not terrible, so. All right, one step at a time, one buckthorn at a time. And Juniper's thinking one mouse at a time.